Ultra Diner.
Hi, how you doing? Would you like some coffee?
Good morning. I'm recording.
Good morning. I know. That's the announcement. It also said that there are one participant in the meeting. Actually, it said there are one participant in the meeting.
They did it last time, and that annoyed you, didn't it?
It's annoying. There is one participant. I am number 2.
Yeah, I know that. I work with developers that have to do sort of timers and stuff, and when they start counting down from 0, the minimum increment is like a minute, and they can't handle the fact that it's under a minute, so it'll say 0 or it'll just be blank.
Unbelievable. I am good. How are you?
I'm good. Welcome to the diner. It's fancy meeting you here.
I'm hungry, dude. I'm hungry. I need some food. I need some coffee, man. I need some coffee, man. I gotta eventually tell you about my saga and getting home from Nashville. It's one of these. It was an ultra marathon to get home.
Yeah, I saw a couple posts, and I saw a massive schedule of changed itineraries, if you will.
Delay after delay after delay after delay, and the changes don't even reflect the comedic interludes in between every single change. There was something. And even the next day, trying to fly out, they don't have paperwork.
It was to and from where you were having issues.
It was coming home. It was just coming home. Oh. Going there was fine. It wasn't a big deal. But going home was not good at all. Not good at all. But it's all right. I made it home, so whatever.
That's cool. I mean, that's not cool, but I'm glad you're home. And yeah, on my end, it was just stop paying attention to your feed on social, and then suddenly you were home.
All right, there you go. There you go.
So what
else is up with you, man? You first.
Me first?
Yeah.
I've been doing a lot of podcasting related work.
Oh.
Yeah.
You have too many podcasts, dude.
I'm striving to be an ultra podcaster.
You might be there already.
And it's not like having one good podcast and doing a ton of it for a long time. It's just having a bunch of podcasts that are just starting out. And I thought
you were going to say something else.
No.
I thought you were going to say it's not about having one really good podcast. It's about having a bunch of mediocre podcasts.
Yes, that's exactly what I was actually working on a social media post that says that exactly, to inspire people to be just good enough to get to the bottom. Brilliant.
That's brilliant. I like it.
Yeah, that's pretty much it. And it's sort of a creative piece of stuff that motivates me. Then I just get exhausted and I can't think of anything creative, and then I just don't want to do anything. And then you won't hear from me.
I like it. I like it though. I like that strategy.
Yeah, got to be careful. I mean, last night I was up late, and suddenly I thought, well, what if I had a different Facebook page, and then this could lead to its own other thing? And I'm like, oh my God! And that was after already spending a whole lot of time doing other podcast related stuff. So yeah.
All right. Well.
Yeah.
You're a busy guy, man.
Yeah, and hopefully it leads to something.
What do you want it to lead to?
I don't know. This is it's a whole different world from what, from when we were kids, right? With all of these social media platforms and all of these ways to get noticed. I mean, I remember when I was in high school, my wife's brother wanted to build a t-shirt store on the island, right? So he was looking at designs. He was looking at doing product shots. He was looking at a store, a beachfront, building for a store. And, we're just trying to think of how can we get this off and running. But at this day and age, I could just fire up an app. I can fire up Illustrator, and I could just get a template, or I can tweak a template, and I could create designs, slap them on places like Redbubble, and have t-shirts fulfilled elsewhere and shipped from them. And I could just fire up a website easy and be off and running. It's crazy. So I don't know what all of this is going to lead to, but it's just sure is fast to put stuff out there. And I just got to keep tinkering, I guess, and hopefully something decent enough to get enough attention happens. Yeah.
Well, that sounds exciting though.
And then I can hire you as counsel.
Sure, why not, man? Why not?
I'll pay you with
Count me in. Count me in. I can be whatever you want. I can be your personal advisor. I don't care. Whatever. I do whatever.
I need some level of coaching. That's what I need. Because
do you want coaching? So that's interesting that you say that. So I've just started so I used to coach people, right?
Yeah.
I used to coach a bunch of people, and I actually just restarted. I coached Coach Julie Goldstein, the Dolphin doc.
Yeah.
She finished the Keys 100 recently. So I coached her to finish the Keys 100. I'm still coaching her. But I decided after, she convinced me to help her with the Keys 100. So I thought I was past that coaching kind of like period. But it turns out that I actually enjoy it quite a lot. So I've actually started taking on some coaching clients. So I have a couple now, and I'm definitely, if you want, I can coach you, man. I can coach anybody.
Okay. I need coaching, and I've never hired a coach before. So yeah, and that's good to know that, you provide that service.
So it's interesting that you say that though.
Why?
Right. So you never hired a coach before. So I think a lot of people can get by without coaches. Right. I mean, but the thing for me that helps me, I don't have a coach anymore. I've learned a lot from a whole boatload of people, right? I've had some pretty amazing people coach me, starting way back when I started ultra running, Lisa Smith-Batchen, right? 10-time Badwater, 135 finisher, right? I've had Ray Zahab, the great Canadian ultra runner. Charlie Engel has helped me over time. Zach Bitter trained me for two or 3 years, and actually with the combination of Zach's training and Ray Zahab's training got me in my mid to late 40s to my best 100-mile finisher in the 18-hour range. So my best 100-mile finish was towards the latter end of all my ultra running stuff. Even Jamie Donaldson, if you remember her, she won Badwater 3 or 4 times in a row. She trained me for a little while too. And what I found was I learned a lot from them, but what helped me the most with having somebody to coach or train me was that accountability, right? I can make my own plan, but reporting to myself how I did or whether I missed a workout or not was one thing. Reporting to these guys, my coaches or my trainers, that I missed a workout or I didn't do a workout or whatever it was, to me, that was a big thing. So it kind of motivated me to always kind of stay kind of true to the training plan, stuff like that.
Yeah.
So yeah, if you want to be trained, man. Yeah. Or if anybody wants to be trained.
I tell myself I can be accountable for myself. I can set a bunch of reminders, get up in the morning and go run. But say if I did that, it might not be at a duration or an intensity that makes sense for, let's say if I want to, do my first 50-mile event, am I doing, quality, the quantity that's needed to get my body and my endurance, right. So I can get up at 4 a.m., drink some coffee, and get out there. But what am I really doing that'll get me where I need to be? So it's the accountability and the right direction or the right coaching.
Well, the thing about that too is you talk about whether it's the right quantity or right duration for you and your body. The thing about it is you want to find someone to coach you or train you that's very adaptable to you, because you're not going to know what that is necessarily until you get into several weeks of a new training plan. If you start something new and you say, okay, I'm gonna train for a 50 miler, or let's say you've done a 50 mile, now you're gonna do a 100 miler, and you can go research and you can find all the all the training plans, or you can get in touch with some of the really great ultra runners, whether they're great because they've won ultra races a lot, or whether they're great because they have tremendous amount of experience. And you can implement this plan on your own or through a coach, but you're not going to know really how you react to the different types of workouts or the different mileage or the different duration. It's going to take a little while for you to really get into that groove and really understand what the right duration and the right distance, whichever you're using, might be.
Uh-huh.
So, yeah. So that's my my take on training. So let's go. Let's sign you up. I'll give you a discount. Let's train you.
Cool. So let's see. This is our second recording for the podcast. Folks who are just tuning in are probably wondering, okay, so I've heard these guys talk, and one guy clearly doesn't know what he's doing, and another guy clearly has a lot of experience. We should, at some point, kind of talk a little bit about what we are and who we are. And I think over a period of several episodes, we can sort of shed more clarity on it all as we figure things out. But here, this is the Ultra Diner, and we just want to sort of make it that place where we can get together and just talk, folks from the Ultra community and things related. Does that sound about right?
That sounds awesome. Like, you couldn't have described it any better.
Yeah, Ruel, me, I am a co-host, producer, and the novice runner, and Tony on the other mic. I would describe as the veteran 100-miler, 100-miler plus. What else, Tony? What am I missing?
So like, I usually like to describe myself like as I'm Lieutenant Weinberg, right, from A Few Good Men, right? I have no responsibility here whatsoever. But I'll give you a little bit more about me. I didn't really start running until later in my life, like in my mid to late 30s, right? And I didn't really run my first ultra marathon until somewhere around like 2000, I don't know, 6 or 7, something like that. So I have maybe 10 years of actual ultra running under my belt. But during that time, I've run over 30 races of 100 miles or more. 9 of them are 135s. Run 22 50-mile races. So like I've kind of crammed a lot into a short period of time, and I've been trained by a lot of good ultra runners, and I've got just a lot of experience and a lot of knowledge that I love to share with people. So yeah, that's pretty much me. Oh, and I'm a lawyer too, in case anybody needs any legal work.
There you go. Cool. Yeah, that's who we basically are. Me, a whole bunch of podcast related stuff that I mentioned earlier, and Tony is a lot of miles and a lot of experience, and he'll give you he can help you with the legal stuff if you need his help. And we're sitting at the diner. What do you think of this place?
Great, man. Coffee's really good.
Yeah, I gotta flag down Flo and ask her for a refill in my cup.
Flo. Very, very nice.
Like kiss my grits.
Exactly. Yeah. Exactly.
So the hope is that we'll get this episode and the previous episodes bundled up and put out for consumption fast. And as we work towards these episodes, we'll have a lot of fun. But as we're sitting here, more than me, I caught it on social that this weekend, at the time of this recording, is a big weekend for ultra running, right?
Yeah, there's a lot going on this weekend, right? Hard Rock started today, I think. Vermont 100 is tomorrow, and then on Monday is Badwater 135. So lots going on this weekend. And then, how about the great Harvey Lewis, who just completed the Appalachian Trail in 49 days, right? He was trying for the record, but he just finished, and I think it was 49 days and change, something like that. But how about him? He's on his way out now. What's he going to do 4 days after finishing the Appalachian Trail? Take a wild guess. He's going to go run Badwater. Insane.
Wow.
Right? It's insane. You spend 49 days and 2,100 plus miles on the Appalachian Trail. And then you get done with that, and 4 days later, you're starting a 135-mile race through Death Valley in July. That's pretty crazy. Big stuff going on.
I mean, to get into Badwater, you've got to come in with a resume, correct? And you've got a lot of preparation that and logistics you got to figure out, isn't it? I mean, is that right?
Oh, absolutely. I mean, the process of getting into Badwater is not just, let's go and sign up on Ultra Sign Up, or let's enter a lottery, which is almost everything now. It's a process. It's a full application with essay questions and the history of your running and events and stuff like that. But Harvey's a guy that's super accomplished. I mean, he's run Badwater multiple times. He's even won it. Pretty sure he's even won it. Almost positive he's won it at least once or twice. But he's been at Badwater since like 2011 or so, I would say, and super talented guy. But yeah, the process isn't easy. It's not easy, and a lot of people apply, and only 100 people get accepted.
Harvey Sweetland Lewis.
Yeah, he's great. He's awesome. Harvey's great.
Oh, see, that's okay. I'm looking at his Facebook page. Anyways.
Yeah, he just got done with this Appalachian Trail thing, and he's quite the ultra runner, right? I think he was second place in Badwater in 2016.
Wow.
I think he won it maybe 2015, 2014, maybe he won it.
Cincinnati teacher completed almost 50-day run through the Appalachian Trail.
Crazy, right?
Yeah, I love it.
What's even crazier about it is it was pretty far off the record, actually. I say pretty far off the record, like, okay, what's the difference between 49 and 45 days? But
yeah, no.
I mean,
which way?
I shouldn't be saying that at all. Like, I don't say that as like, well, he was so far off the record. No, I'm like,
wow.
I think the record's like 45 or 46 days.
I love this, and it was just a week or two ago. I caught Speed Goat's film on, I think it was Netflix, on his. Yeah,
he did it too.
It was the.
Yeah, he did it too.
Yeah. Have you caught that movie?
I haven't seen that one yet.
Yeah, Made to Be Broken. It's out there.
I haven't seen that one yet, but I find it interesting though that there's a lot of runners, right, that have tried to break or set the Appalachian Trail fastest known time, right? And so Scott Jurek made there was a big thing about Scott Jurek doing it when Scott Jurek did it, and then Carl Meltzer, Speed Goat, as you said, he finished in he said it, and then immediately somebody else said it, and so there's been a lot of these, a lot of attempts at it. But what I found interesting is like the person that holds the record and the person that held it, I think before Scott broke it, they're not runners, I don't believe, right? They're through hikers, right? So it's like more of and I wonder too if the running aspect of it takes so much out of you that doesn't make more sense. It doesn't make more sense to through hike it as opposed to run through it.
Yeah,
I just don't know the answer to that.
Yeah, it's all just that forward, progress is all running to me. I know there's a lot of people that aren't in the sport or do the activity they don't get it. But yeah, I mean, a lot of that terrain, I was watching the film, I mean, you can't run it anyways,
Right. Well, I was actually out on part of it yesterday. I was up at Bear Mountain, so that's where the Appalachian Trail comes through here in the New York portion of it. Okay. And I was just out there hiking, and yeah, even up, where we are here, before you even get further north, it's not always very runnable. So
wow, yeah. How are you feeling? Badwater 2018 is about to happen, and I know you've spent a lot of years being part of the family over there and participating and all that stuff. How are you feeling? Because I'm guessing you're not there today.
No, I'm in beautiful White Plains, New York.
Are you experiencing FOMO?
No, that's interesting. It's an interesting question. I've been asked that question a lot the last 3 years. So I was at Badwater for 8 years in a row, starting in 2008 through 2015, 7 of those years as a runner. So I crewed in 2008 for Jackie Florian Adams. And then as a runner, I completed the race in 2009, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, and 15. But since then, I haven't been back, more to focus on family stuff as the kids got older, progressing through high school. And now I've got one that's going to be a senior, one that's going to be a junior in high school. So it's that real college-looking type period. So 2016, yeah, it was kind of weird, right? So I'm not out there for the first time in 8 years. And it was weird. And it wasn't like FOMO, but it was just like, oh, man, I'm so used to booking flights and booking hotels and paying a fortune for hotels in Death Valley, and so used to getting there and doing the shopping beforehand and, getting the van and having the crew come and getting together at Furnace Creek and setting everything up, and then pre-race meeting and the picture and on seeing all the folks that you see there every single year. But wow, 2016, I'm not doing that. I'm not confirming reservations. I'm not flying out there. So that 2016 was kind of like a tough one. Yeah. But since then I've kind of gotten used to it and kind of become okay with the fact that I haven't been out there for the race. Now I've been out there not as part of the race, to go visit and to take the family and the kids out there, in every February, but it's just not part of the race. But yeah, I'm okay with it. It's fine.
So as a veteran, what's the best thing about the Badwater 135 for you?
There is no best thing. Everything about it is the best thing. There's like a million best things. Being out at night on your own, under the stars in the desert, the feeling of exhaustion, but yet continuing to go. The last climb up Whitney Portal Road, seeing all the people that are out there every single year some of which and many of which you only see once a year, and that's where you see them. Maybe you communicate with them on social media, but you only see them once a year. So there's, just the whole aspect of interacting with everybody in the crews, which are like they're great, and the race volunteers, which are equally as great. And just that whole camaraderie out there. It's like, yeah, it's a race, even though only 4 or 5 people are really going to end up competing to win it. But it's actually, for most of the people that are out there, it's really not a race. It's a journey and an adventure. And that's so the whole thing is the best part about it.
Cool, man. I'm slowly getting the whole vibe. I mean, I'm pretty sure it's different for everybody, but I did an event a couple of months ago, and it's the Ohlone 50K, and I unofficial finisher, came in dead last. Still got people to cheer me on at the end. Completed the course. It's been described by the co-director a tough course, somebody who with a lot of experience as well, and I just had this sense of satisfaction having to complete the course. But it was just I talked about it on the other podcast, where if there was a way I could sort of borrow this feeling that I was experiencing, that I still have about, I don't know if it's the journey or the sense of accomplishment, or if it's just all of the cool people there doing the same thing, or the vibe of meeting folks who, have gone through what you've been going through before and greater. There's just this awesome feeling that I wish I could bottle and I could just, take a shot of it every day, live my life, because it's something special. So I can only imagine, it at your level, at your, from all the events that you've done for the Badwater experience. Not.
Yeah, well, they're all different too, right? So if you can't even bottle up Badwater and have it every day, because every experience is totally different, right? You have to have as many bottles as events that you've been out there for, whether you're crewing, volunteering, or racing. So it's a pretty cool place where when you go back there and you do it a first, second, third, fourth, fifth time, whatever you're doing it, each time is totally different than the others, which is what's really cool about it. And especially since, the race used to start in the morning. There used to be 3 starts, 6 o'clock, 8 o'clock, and 10 o'clock. And now, because of the new rules from a couple of years ago, the race starts late at night, right? It starts 8, 9:30, and 11. So it's very different because your first experience is at night in the area that used to be the hottest part of the race, right? From Badwater Basin through Furnace Creek, through Furnace Creek to Stovepipe Wells. That was super hot time. So now you're seeing different parts of the race at different times if you've been there before when it started in the daytime. So different challenge too.
Cool. Very cool. I think before, that's my kids. Now I'm going to cut that out. Don't worry about it.
You can keep it in. Nothing wrong with it.
Okay, cool. So, I mean, there's, so we're here again. We're at the diner, and I'm still waiting for Flo to bring me more coffee. We can assume that folks are familiar with Badwater 135. But I think for the curious listener who isn't, maybe they need a little bit of a description. Is there something that you could kind of spit out so that they know?
Sure.
Describe it.
It's described as the world's toughest foot race. It's 135 miles from Death Valley, from Badwater Basin in Death Valley, which is the lowest point in North America, which is 280 feet below sea level. And it finishes the top of the Portal Road of Mount Whitney. So you don't climb Mount Whitney. You used to climb Mount Whitney before. But now the race finishes at Whitney Portal, which is like 8,300 feet above sea level. Now, during that time, you still cover 3 mountain ranges, right? You have to climb Town Pass and then down into Panamint Valley and then back up again and then back down and then back up again. So it's like 14,000 feet of total ascent. But it is quite an adventure, quite a journey, and temperatures do get into the 120s depending on where you are at what time of day. And that's pretty much what it is. Go check out anybody interested in finding out more about it. The website's great, right? Badwater.com. Check out the 135. They have the Badwater series of races, if you want to call it, has a whole bunch of races, right? They have the Badwater Cape Fear, which is a 51-mile race, predominantly on sand, right? It's on Bald Head Island in North Carolina. Happens around in March. Then they have the Badwater Salton Sea race, which is really cool to do. I've done it. I've been out there twice, and that's in April, and that's like a team race. Runners of 2s or 3s run the race, but it's not a relay. You have to stick together within a certain distance of each other. Then they have the 135, and I think they have something. They used to have something out of the country, but they're coming up hopefully with a new one, the Badwater Cerro Gordo race that's going to start in Lone Pine, and that's very similar to, I think it's going to be a 100-mile race, but it's going to be based on that alternative 2014 Badwater route when the park made it so that the race had to take a year off while they restudied the rules and whether it was safe to be out there. So I think they're coming up with that one too. But yeah, so
cool
stuff.
I wonder, have you ever heard why it became 135 and not 126 or 150 or something, something else? Is it because they wanted to do like the 100 and then tack on roughly a 50K above that just to sort of like put a cherry on top of the event, or, No, I mean, the original route was from the highest to lowest, right? It started from lowest to highest, from the start at the lowest point in North America and finished at the highest point in the continental United States, the top of Mount Whitney, right? So that was the original race, right? Mount Whitney's like 14,004 or 5 or something like that. And that's the highest peak in the continental United States. So that was originally what the race was, from lowest to highest. And it was a 146-mile race, right? You finished at the top, but you didn't come down. So it was 146. At some point, the Forest Service said, nah, can't go up to the top as part of the race anymore. It's too dangerous. So they ended up finishing at Whitney Portal, right? Just right around where the route is to start, the hiker's route, or the climber's route to top of Mount Whitney. And that just happened to be 135 miles, around about that. I see. Gotcha.
So it has really nothing to do with, the race itself really has nothing to do with whether it's 100 miles or 135 miles or, whatever that might be. The race has to do with going from the lowest point here in the United States to the highest point.
Man. Oh man. One day I'll get it out. Hope to get out there just to see and feel and, take a few selfies. Maybe I'll crew somebody.
Well, that's the best way to experience, really. I mean, if you're at all interested in the race, especially if you're at all interested in doing the race, crewing it is the best first step in that, because a lot of people will go out there and crew it. And you'll either say, God, hell no, I'm never doing this thing. Thank God I came out here to crew it to figure that out. Or you're saying, oh, I got to do this, right? So yeah, you should definitely go out there and crew it. Hey, look, maybe in a year or two when my kids are all in college and I have more time in the summertime, I'll go back out there. I'd like to go back out there and do it again. So maybe we'll plan that. Maybe you'll come out and you'll be one of the crew folk.
That would be awesome. It'd be so awesome. Cool. I know we're talking about podcasting again and opening it up for folks to participate and ask questions and just be part of the conversation here at the diner. And the topic would be around Badwater 135, because that's your jam, and that's what's happening right now. So we'll think of ways to quickly put the word out there and make it happen. Sounds good?
I think that'd be a great thing to do, right? So we could talk about, people might have questions about the race itself. People might be interested in doing it and might have questions about, getting into the race or logistics of the race or cost of the race, for example, right? That's a big topic. I get a lot of emails about how much did it cost you to do the race outside of the entry fee itself. And then I'm a person that's done the race as a carb fueler, and it's a person that is a kind of an NSNG fueler, right? A low carb and a higher fat fueler. So I've got a couple different perspectives. So people might have some questions about that too. So I think it'd be great if we could open it up, come back here on Monday, see about answering some questions and, getting another one out there.
Yeah. I mean, the idea was originally yours, and I had to think about, okay, how can that, there has to be a way. And I have a sense that there's likely more than one way to do it, and we'll figure it out.
I think it's easy just to throw it out there on your 18 different podcast pages or whatever you have going on, right? Your 18 mediocre podcasts. We're calling that for now.
Yeah.
And, we'll put,
that's how many kids I have, according to Vinny Toyderich.
I thought you have 22 now. Didn't you have some more? Didn't you grab some more last week?
Awesome. Yeah, we'll put it out there.
So yeah, throw it out there. Just ask people have questions, and we can just pick them off one at a time. Just take them one at a time and answer them, and then put it out there.
Yeah. I mean, whether it's just people want to be a part of the conversation, they could dial in, and then we can tell them.
Oh yeah, that's good. That would be cool too. Have them dial in. That'd be awesome.
If there's at least one other person, then the whole dynamic of we just have to save up a stool by here at the diner for them.
And it's pretty empty right now.
Yeah. That explains why Flo hasn't come over with my coffee. Woman. I'll have to ask.
The rest of the day.
I'll have to ask Mel. But yeah, I was thinking of ways to do that. How that might be possible, but throw out questions for us to read out and answer as well. So it's funny. It's suddenly getting more and more complicated, but in a good way. Yeah. Let's see. You've got to have folks that are on the forefront of your mind right now who are going to do Badwater 135 this weekend. Who are the folks you're thinking about?
Oh, there's a lot of them, but there's some great people out there that are going to compete to win, like Pete Kostelnik and Oswaldo Lopez. My friend Mosey Smith is out there. One of the really talented ultra runners, Yassine Dubon, is out there, and his first time. Grant Maughan is out there. Of course, you got to think about Harvey Lewis coming off of just doing the Appalachian Trails out there. Shannon Farrar-Griefer's out there. Ed Eddinghausen, the Jester's out there, right? Marshall Ulrich is out there. Michelle West is out there. Amy Costa's out there. I can keep going. There's a ton of people out there. Brad Lombardi, Eric Spencer. I think Zach Gingrich is coming back out there this year to run it. Ray Sanchez, I think it's like his 8th or 9th. And Cheryl Zarkowski is, I think, running her 10th. Frank McKinney's out there. He's out promoting his new book and going to run this thing. There's a ton of people out there that, all deserve huge Rudy claps for their efforts in getting there and, being bold enough to start a journey like this. So yeah, like to everybody out there is equally impressive.
I'm getting pretty excited. I'm getting
Control yourself.
Oh my God. Yeah. I know a gal who's participating, Gabriella Popes. She's a gal I met at one of the events locally. So she's the only one I know. And then we have the mutual friend in Vinny who's doing business there. Him and his
nice.
His vitamin company.
They are actually sponsors of the race this year, if I remember correctly.
Yeah.
I think they're providing their new salt caps.
Yeah, they're ultra salts.
Yeah, I believe so, which is kind of cool, right?
Yeah, very cool. Yeah. I'm thinking, well, how would it be like if we had this party line on that next episode regarding Badwater, and then it just becomes a crazy pod fest of Badwater runners.
I think it'd be great. I think it'd be totally awesome. I think we should definitely do that.
Sit back and serve coffee, and all you guys would just go at it.
I think it'd be fun. I think we should do it. We should. You're the brains behind the whole thing, so you need to figure out how you can get it done and manage your 37 podcast.
Oh, why? Thank you. I appreciate that.
And your 42 kids.
I appreciate someone finally recognizing I have a brain.
Cool. You do. You got one in there. You got one in there. So yeah, so that's good. So I don't know. What do you think? Should we pay the check here and then figure out a way to get back on it on Monday?
We'll pay the check here. Don't worry about it. I got you.
You think?
You get me next time.
I don't know. Maybe you should pay a couple.
No, actually, they owe me because they haven't filled my cup.
Right on. We'll get a piece of pie to go.
Oh yeah, meat pie. Cool, man.
All right, brother. That's fun. That's a good time. And
yeah, let's do that, and let's figure out a way to sign out.
We're gonna have to say. I was thinking about that, so we're gonna have to discuss a sign out. We're gonna have to discuss it. I'm gonna have to come up with a few.
Okay.
Like, what was I have to come up with something.
Look, let's do a few sound bites. Get you to say the Ultra Diner.
The Ultra Diner. How do you the Ultra Diner? I can say it. Welcome to the Ultra Diner.
Yeah. Have you heard the demo at all? I put it out there, and it's
no. Where is it?
It's it's on theultradiner.libsyn.com, right? It's just a demo, and I take a sample of a song, a famous song done by a famous remade by a famous artist, and then I tweak it a bit, and then I do a vocal that just says, "This is the Ultra Diner," and I tweak I synthesize that as well. But I'm not sure if the vibe is what I want, if is what we want to go with. But it was just sort of like I said, a demo.
Send it. Can you text me the link to it? Because I can't get on it right now. You said it's send me a.
Yeah, I'll send it to you. Tell me what you think. But yeah, this will be fun. The Ultra Diner. Tony Portera. Do you get Tony or Anthony or Anton?
Tony's good. Tony's good. Yeah, keep it simple.
Tony. All right.
Tony, Tone Dog, TP, T, whatever. I don't care as long as I'm not in trouble.
Cool. All right.
All right, bud.
All right, guys. Thanks for stopping by the diner. He's Tony, and I'm Ruel, and we're done. See you next time.
Catch you guys next time.
This is the Ultra Diner.
This is another Coffee with Heavy Cream production.